Assalamu alaikum. This is Arooj Muzaffar from the Department of English, University of Southern Punjab. The subject that we are discussing is functional English, and the chapter 1 is carrying and going to its end by this topic that we are going to discuss today. So, let's start our lecture. And hello everyone, and a very good day to all of you. I hope you are doing great and ready for the exciting journey into the world of this learning. Today we are diving into the further and last exploration of the chapter number 1 of Foundation of Functional English. The warm-up questions include that: are you ready to move beyond silent reading and truly master the sound of a language? Get ready to step into the world of sound production and pronunciation. This is not just about mimicry, it's about becoming a vocal athlete, learning the secret movements of your tongue, lips, and jaw to create authentic, clear sounds. Imagine being able to speak with rhythm and melody of a native speaker, no longer feeling self-conscious about your accent. We will explore the fascinating mechanics beyond and behind every vowel and consonant, showing you how subtle shifts in your mouth can completely change a word's meaning. By understanding this concept, that how to of a sound, you will gain the confidence to communicate freely, transforming your spoken words into powerful and clear expression of your thoughts. By the end of this lecture, you will have the ability to be understood easily even by native speakers. By producing sounds accurately and exactly, you will be able to have the capacity to speak with a more natural sounding rhythm and intonation, which makes communication smoother and less strained. You will have a greater comfort and willingness to speak in public or social situations, knowing their pronunciation is clear, correct, and fine. Have the ability to better distinguish between sounds and words, which enhances comprehension of spoken language. You will have an understanding of where to place emphasis in words or sentences, preventing miscommunication and improving fluency. So basically, what we have learned till this point is that how our pronunciation and fluency is going to make our speech more effective and make us more confident and communicative in a social surrounding. So let's discuss the art and science of sound production and pronunciation. Sound production and pronunciation are fundamental aspects of human communication. They involve a complex interplay of physiological processes and linguistic knowledge. Understanding how these processes work can significantly improve our ability to produce clear and accurate speech, as well as comprehend the speech of others. The mechanics that rules beyond the sound production in human speech is that it is produced through a series of coordinated actions involving respiratory, phonatory, and articulatory system. The respiratory system provides the airflow necessary for sound production. The phonatory system, located in the larynx, generates sound waves through the vibration of the vocal folds. The articulatory system, consisting of the oral cavity, nasal cavity, and pharyngeal cavity, shapes these sound waves into distinct speech sounds. Let's discuss the role of respiratory system for the first. The respiratory system plays a crucial role in speech production by providing a steady supply of air. The lungs, diaphragm, and intercostal muscles work together to inhale and exhale air. During speech, the exhalation phase is carefully controlled To maintain a consistent airflow, the amount of air expelled and the rate of airflow can influence the loudness and pitch of speech sounds. Let's discuss the phonatory system, which is about the voice box. The phonatory system located in the larynx. Let's discuss what is larynx first. Larynx is basically a tube in our neck that is responsible for producing sound waves. The larynx houses the vocal folds, two muscular folds that vibrate when air passes through them. The vibration of the vocal folds creates sound waves that are transmitted through the vocal tract. The tension and position of vocal folds determine the pitch of our sound. The articulatory system, which is the third and final stage of it, is about shaping the sound. The articulatory system modifies the sound waves produced by larynx to create different speech sounds. This system basically includes the tongue, lips, teeth, alveolar ridge, hard palate, soft palate and velum. By manipulating these articulators, we can produce a wide range of sounds including vowels and consonants. Let's have a break and revise that what we had done till this point. We have done the phonatory system, respiratory system and articulatory system. These three systems work together to make our sound and our pronunciation more meaningful and clear to the listeners. And obviously, when our listeners are more clear in their expressions, our speech is ultimately going to be more effective and good. Let's discuss that how vowels and consonants carry different patterns when we are speaking. Starting from the vowels. Vowels are produced by a relatively open vocal tract, allowing air to flow freely through the mouth. The position of the tongue and lips determine the specific vowel sounds. Let's discuss consonant now. Consonants are produced by obstructing the airflow in the vocal tract. The manner of articulation, how the airflow is obstructed, and the place of articulation where the obstruction occurs determine the specific consonant sound. Now, let's move towards the importance of pronunciation and discuss that how correct and right pronunciation is essential for effective communication. It basically involves producing sounds accurately and using appropriate stress and intonation pattern. Obviously, when our pronunciation is fine, our discourse is going to be fine. When we mispronounce words, it can lead to misunderstandings and communication breakdowns. There are certain factors that affect pronunciation. Let's discuss all of those factors one by one. For the first point that is included is native language. Sometimes our native language is so much different from the learning language or the second language that we are learning, is that our native language can significantly impact our pronunciation of foreign languages. The sounds and sound patterns of our native language can interfere with our ability to produce the sounds of a second language. It means that basically our native language is a hindrance in our correct pronunciation. Second point is dialect. Dialects are regional variations of a language that can differ in terms of pronunciation, vocabulary and grammar. Let's discuss it. Dialect is basically the variation of our language that varies from region to region. For example, you are speaking a language but your accent is a bit different from the nearby region. In the same way, the accent is a distinctive way of speaking that is characteristic of a particular region or social group. There are certain speech disorders as well. These speech disorders are related to articulation and disorders or phonological disorders that affect a person's ability to produce speech sounds correctly. These speech disorders basically are a hindrance and they obstruct our way of communication confidently and clearly. Sometimes they can be improved and sometimes they can never be improved. But let's discuss the points that can be considered for improving pronunciation. Well, to improve pronunciation, it is helpful to focus on the following points. For the first point, listening. If we are listening attentively and we pay attention to how native speakers pronounce words and phrases, we are able to speak in a better way. Second point is imitation. Try to imitate the sounds and rhythm of native speakers. Imitation is basically the key to understand the speech pattern and the pronunciation of a native speaker. When we are imitating the pattern and the pronunciation of native speakers, we are actually learning in the same way as we learn our first language. When we are infants and we do not know the basics of our own language, our first language, we start imitating the pattern of our language from our parents or our surroundings, and gradually we learn it. In the same way, if we are trying to imitate the native speakers of that language, we are able to convert that speech into a better and particular way. The next point is practice. Practice speaking regularly and seek feedback from others. If we have the confidence to speak, we are going to obviously become a very good speaker sooner or later, because our practice is going to lead us towards success for sure. And without practice, we can never be a good speaker of any language, and any language includes our native language as well. Because if we are not going to have a fluency of our native language, it means that we have not practiced our native language as well. Other point is phonetic transcription. Learn to use phonetic symbols to represent speech sound. What does this mean? It means basically that when we are reading a book, we pronounce the unknown or unfamiliar words in our own way. We invent or discover our own practices and create a pronunciation of that word. But sometimes that pronunciation can be right and sometimes that can be wrong as well. If we are going towards the phonetic transcription basically are symbols that tell us that how that word which is written over a book or a dictionary is going to be pronounced. So that phonetic transcription basically helps us to know and to understand the real accent and the pronunciation. The other problem, which is basically a problem that we inherit with us, or the problem that is going to be attached to us since our birth, is speech therapy. If you have a speech disorder, consider seeking the help of a speech language pathologist. By understanding the mechanics of sound production and pronunciation, we can improve our own speech and better understand the speech of others. Whether you are a language learner or a speech language pathologist or simply someone who is interested in the human voice, this knowledge can be invaluable. Basically, we have discussed that speech, sounds and pronunciation involves three things, and those three things are our articulation, our respiration and our phonological order. That how these three things combine together to make our pronunciation and our accent more meaningful and more able to be understood by our listeners. And then we have discussed certain hindrances and certain problems that come to us as a problem to pronounce correctly the language that we are learning and we are seeking to interpret or to speak. Then we have discussed certain remedies that can be applied, and we can correct our pronunciation and our speech patterns with the use of those remedies. I hope after this lecture you are able to understand that speech production and sound production and pronunciation is something which is very, very important. This sound production basically leads towards correct understanding and correct meanings. If you are speaking a word with a wrong pronunciation, it is confusing not only for the person you are speaking to, but also for the native speaker as well. So be careful and keep in your mind these points. If you do have any question, you can ask me, and thank you so much for concentrating and having a interactive session of learning with me. Thank you.